Tom Steyer, thanks for being here.
Scott, thank you very much.
You've been spending a lot of your own money recently, tens of millions of dollars on politics, mostly candidates, ballot measures, and so on, mostly promoting green energy. Why is it so important to you?
And I think that energy and climate are going to be the challenge for our generation. I think they're going to be the measuring stick for how we do as a generation.
What can one person do in that regard?
The end is for us to have an energy system that's sustainable, that is good for job creation, that makes America the economic powerhouse that it's always been and that I hope it always will be, and which also preserves the earth in a good way.
Here in California, that's also good politics.
The fact of the matter is, California has led the nation in many ways, including environmental legislation, for decades. So if you look at the Clean Air Act, if you look at the Clean Water Act, if you look at miles per gallon regulations, they've all come from California and the nation has followed.
You call yourself a business Democrat, and yet it's really business that opposes a lot of these policies that you're promoting in terms of carbon taxes and other things that promote green energy.
There are elements of the business community that are pushing back, and those tend to be companies involved in fossil fuels, and they see their job as representing their economic interest and their shareholders, and that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, from a business standpoint, there are plenty of businesses that profit dramatically from new kinds of energy, from advanced thinking about energy, that are going to create many more jobs than extractive fuel industries.
One of the issues you're really focused on is the Keystone Pipeline, and there's a big decision awaiting President Obama. You've personally talked with him about this. You want that project to be killed. Why is the president taking such a long time to make what to you seems like a pretty obvious, easy decision?
I think in the beginning, no one was paying much attention. And so the industry was pushing the idea that it was about energy independence and a big jobs program and a number of other things that turned out not to be true. There was kind of one side of the argument was being strongly made and the other side wasn't being made at all. And that went on for quite a long time, and then suddenly people woke up and said, whoa, this doesn't seem quite right. Let's examine the premise.
But isn't that what the president's supposed to do? I mean, he's not supposed to just pay attention to arguments out there, in public. He has advisors and people who, presumably he would be, if anyone would know that, he would.
I think that he has done a much better job in terms of energy and climate than people realize. He did it kind of quietly in the first term. He's been much more vocal about it in his second term. But he's pretty consistently pushed hard on energy and climate. And in fact, this is something that has blown up really this year, starting last year, but has really blown up this year into consciousness. It's become kind of a prime fight.
Yeah. You got involved a few weeks ago in the BART Strike. Well, actually, it wasn't a strike yet. They were talking, and it was coming to loggerheads. And before the governor stepped in to avert a strike, you showed up at a BART station in solidarity with the people who clean the station at 16th and Mission. Why did you decide to get involved in that issue? What's a billionaire doing standing with the people who clean BART stations?
The person who is there are two unions involved. And I really only know about one of them, which is really the lower paid workers. And the person who's representing them is one of my is an old friend. And she said, Tom, really, you should come down. She gave me kind of what people get paid when they start, what they move up to and their benefits. Come down and spend a day in their shoes and see how hard the job is.
But there seems to be so little public support. Is there a shifting attitude toward working class people, toward unions, you think, that is playing out?
I definitely hope there's not a shift towards working class people, because these people are doing a very hard, dirty job under tough circumstances, and they are by no means they're not making a ton of money and their benefits aren't outrageous. I think what people may be reacting to is there may be people in this situation who are at the high end where they feel as if people in the public sector are getting paid better than people in the private sector.
Thinking about the BART strike or any other issue facing us as a state, as a country, what would you say is the biggest failure of leadership right now?
I think the question in the United States has been, what is our mission? What are we trying to accomplish as a people and as a polity? And I think if you understand that and you can put it into terms, then all the decisions fall out of it. If you don't know what your mission is, then every decision is an individual tactical decision, and then everything is tough.
Your name has been kicked around as someone who might be interested in being governor or senator someday. If you thought you could make a difference, is that something you'd want?
I have been involved in a few things in politics, a couple propositions in California, a couple of races. When I've gotten involved, it's because I've said there's something that's not being done that I feel really strongly about, and I'm willing to go in, and if it's time-consuming, embarrassing, expensive, difficult, it's fine.
Last question really quickly. You were captain of the Yale soccer team. What did you learn from that experience?
I learned two things from that experience. One is, don't accept authority without question, because I've played for a lot of coaches, and you really have to keep a mind of your own. And the second thing I've learned is, if you want to be a good leader, you better understand what the mission is, and you better go out and make sure that the people who are behind you accept the same mission and are willing to do what it takes to win.
Tom Steyer, thanks for coming in.
Scott, thank you very much.
Yep.